go once again for a marriage, lightning man. Don't you worry, it's gonna be alright. 'Cause I'm the judge and jury, and we'll be up all night. You better check for pose. You better check for pose. You better check for pose.
They are dead on that.
All the bad things love can bring, all in the blind spot that we don't see. Wipe the dirt.
It was earlier tonight. I don't.
13, she went to her 13th birthday party. She was happy that we were all together.
She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
You will hurt the ones that love you, and they will hurt you right back. Sing along, sing along. Our love is a heart attack. You better check the pulse.
All right, everybody, welcome welcome back. Is this on? Is this thing on? Okay, it's on now. It's on now, right? Okay, I have a new mic, so I don't know what the red light means. Does it mean it's on or that's muted? I think it's different from my previous one. So, okay, welcome back to Watsy Obsession True Crime. It is our weekend date night, and this weekend it's Saturday night. And I hope you guys are all having a really great weekend. It's so good to see you. I love getting together with you guys and hearing what y'all have to think about these cases that we talk about. And tonight, oh boy, we are going to talk about the case that YouTube and other social media has been buzzing about for the past, I don't know, this documentary came out on, I think May, I'm not sure, sometime in May, middle of May. I was going to say May 23rd, but it may have been the 16th. I don't remember. But ever since the crash came out on Netflix, people have been watching it. People have been watching it in record numbers. And it seems like nearly everybody who watches it has a really strong opinion about it, except for my mom, which struck me as being really weird. But we're going to get back to that because I have a Mackenzie Shirilla in my family. I do. And the Mackenzie Shirilla in my family has parents like her parents, kind of. And we're going to talk about that because it has significance to this case. Wow. I almost don't even know where to start. So what we're going to try to focus on tonight is discussing the family dynamics of the Shirilla family and how those family dynamics have influenced Mackenzie, have made her who she is today. And, you know, we can approach the questions like a lot of people have asked, is she a sociopath? Is she a psychopath? I'd love to know what you think about those questions. And we'll define it and go through the indicators that we can clearly see or maybe not in Mackenzie Shirilla. For those of you who don't know, I'm a behavioral therapist, so I'm definitely not trying to diagnose Mackenzie. I would never want to do that to Miss Stang. Never, never, never. The doctors in prison can diagnose her. But we can have this discussion, and I think it's a very important discussion to have. One of the main objectives of this channel has always been to watch true crime, to study true crime, to dive deeply into true crime cases that we're probably interested in if we're here, because the relationships and the human dynamics we see when we are watching content about true crime cases almost always shows very clear indicators in people of human beings who are headed towards crisis. And it's really important that we learn how to identify that when we look around ourselves and see it in others around us, people we care about, people we work with, acquaintances, so we can see it in ourselves and we can begin to say, okay, wait a minute, pause. I am, or this person or this group of people are spiraling into a crisis state. Because when people are, headed towards that crisis state, not quite as quickly as Mackenzie's car was driving. It was headed towards that brick wall, but sometimes pretty quickly. And sometimes it seems with very little notice. That is when very tragic things statistically are most likely to happen. And, we don't want tragedies happen. So for that reason, this case is a very, very, very important case for us to pay close attention to and observe accurately. Okay, so again, there is so much to discuss. I just decided when I was putting the content together, like in order for tonight, we're going to have another live stream on this case on Wednesday for sure, and maybe another day this week because there's just so much to discuss. But because we're going to be talking about the Shirilla family, I'm going to start us off here with a clip from a video that I put out this week. I put out a couple videos of the prison phone calls between Mackenzie and her mom when she was in prison. All of them happened to be in August 23rd, because I'm trying to organize these little videos into topics for y'all. So this was after Mackenzie found out that she was convicted of all charges, and the judge sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison. Oh, wait, right, because StreamYard doesn't like it when I do this. Okay, hold it just one sec here. Let me see if I can change it. I love you, StreamYard. StreamYard, you my boo. All right, hold it. Let me just bring it in through the video then. Just one second here. I always have a backup plan these days. Don't you worry. All right, here we go. To watch the Obsession True Crime, this is the volume 2 of Mackenzie Shirilla jail or prison phone calls. All of the calls in this video, and all the calls actually that I played in the other video, were between Mackenzie and her mother. All of these phone calls take place in August 2023, and this is right after Mackenzie Shirilla was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison for driving the car that caused the crash that killed her boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and her friend, or his friend, Davian Flanagan. Listen to hours and hours and hours, way too many hours, of jail or prison phone calls between Mackenzie and others, and I'm trying to organize some of kind of the most interesting content in these phone calls into topics for you. So the main topics in this video are going to be Mackenzie complaining about not wanting to take a shower because she's the prettiest girl in jail and her body is just so little and cute, as you're going to hear. And also her talking about hearing about the injuries of the victims of the crash that she caused, which is really sad stuff. But some of it, as it always is with Mackenzie Shirilla, is also shocking.
Are you okay? I heard today was hard. I don't like when they describe, like, what happened. Like, not even, like, I don't like how he was describing their injuries.
Yeah.
And just hearing, like, Davion's, like, just got me fucked up. But, like, Dom's, my God. Like,
I know.
I just don't understand, like, it makes me sick to my stomach. Like, did my commissary money load?
How would I know?
No, I did not in any way edit that audio clip other than to enhance the sound for you guys. So she's, oh God, it makes me feel. Okay, so, that was like a joke almost, right? She's like, oh my God, I really hated hearing about the injuries, oh my God, like Dom's injuries. It made me sick to my stomach. And the way the injuries are described on these two young boys, guys, I don't think I've read it or heard it stated without breaking into tears. And I've heard it many times. I have shed so many tears over this case. It's just it just really hits you in the heart. So she says, oh my God, it's so hard. I don't want to hear it. It makes me sick to my stomach. Did my commissary money come in yet? And that's the kind of thing that just makes you go, right? Makes you go, Does it make you go, Is for show. I imagine at least some of it has to be. Now, in the next phone call, on 3 different occasions, Mackenzie and her mother talk about Mackenzie being afraid to take a shower and the hygienic repercussions that she's suffering due to her not taking a shower. Yeah, and listen, I'm sure it's got to be really hard getting used to life in custody and having to shower not in private and have other people around, but you got to get yourself clean. The reasons Mackenzie cites for not taking showers because she's the prettiest girl in jail and her body is just so cute and little.
I have heli dandruff in my hair too.
Yeah, you need to take a shower, babe.
No, I'm scared.
Well, you better do it up there and before you go down there.
Why?
Because there's going to probably be more people on a different floor.
Well, I think I don't like that I have bumps on my butt too. I don't want people.
Well, can't you just can you wash your hair in your sink?
No.
No?
And less than 10 minutes in the same phone call, they revisit the issue of Sans shower.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, my scalp is just flaking off.
Why is anybody else taking a shower?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, can you see their naked bodies?
Yes, I see like heli ass.
So, yeah, that's what I mean. Then just go in there and who gives a fuck?
Because like I'm cute and little. I don't want them to see me.
You got a shower out like in the open?
It's not like out in the open, but like I can see everyone from my room angle. I don't know if everyone can see the view I see. I'll be like looking at my room just to like see what's going on out in the middle, and I'll just like see someone in the shower like ass naked. I'll be like, oh my goodness, and I just like can't look out of my room. Like I'd just be scared.
Yeah. Well, go when you're in there. Go stand in the shower and look at the view that you have, because if you can see them, they can see you. So if you can only see your room, you know what I mean? Then no one's going to see you.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Go get their perspective when you stand in the shower to see who can see. You know what I mean?
I do need a shower too, because like I don't know, but I be trying to like wash up in like the sink in my like thing. I just
No, you need to wash your scalp
No, I'm not washing my hair.
when you get your stuff.
No.
Well, you didn't wash.
Okay, so I want to read Edward's comment here because I think you pretty much sum it up. I was thinking, okay, what am I going to say to sum up, just this feeling every time I hear that, I just kind of get this little like boiling up of a rage inside. Like, my God, the ignorance, like those two boys, these families that are heartbroken, that lost their sons, their brothers, these young boys that have their whole life ahead. How do you completely fail Mackenzie and both her parents? How do you completely fail to have any semblance of appreciation for their lives that are now lost, that you caused to be lost, yet you're worried about people seeing your cute little body in the shower? Like, right? So Edward says if she hadn't crashed the car, she could shower in mommy's house in total privacy. This is one small result of screwing up. Yeah, that saying like, don't sweat the small stuff. I mean, man, this family is like, they are all about the small stuff. And I mean, the big stuff could hit them broadside and they'd have, well, I guess that's kind of a bad analogy. I hear a lot of content creators using bad analogies given what happened in this case, but I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I was going to use one too. So we're just going to switch gears on that. Texas Girl 3, Texas TG. Welcome. How are you doing? Sadly, she is just as one of thousands of young people these days. They don't live in reality. Everything is a game, looking for wealth with no effort, quick clicks, and little to no consequence. Yeah, it is. And it is definitely a trend in her generation, right? But I think that she definitely, being a behavioral therapist that works with all teens, and I work with teens usually who have, things going on, right? We're just going to say the things going on. They have the things going on. I mean, I struggled to think of a teen that I worked with that even kind of like asymptotically approaches the sort of like end of the bell curve that Mackenzie Shirilla is on as far as, just atrocious behavior. And I can't think of one. I mean, she really is something kind of special. So welcome to everyone coming in. Please hit the like. I'm so glad you guys are here. And yes, thanks for being here tonight. Okay, so I just want to make you aware of a documentary that we are going to refer to that I think you should check out. I haven't put it in the description yet, but I am going to. It is really well done. I am going to say that I believe this is the best documentary on this crime in Mackenzie Shirilla that I have seen on YouTube. So it is called, let me just check it out here. Get the right info for you. Mackenzie Shirilla, the full story of Shirilla the Killer, true crime documentary. And the channel is Ellie Mack. And again, I'm going to provide those links to you. She did such a good job. I mean, she covered every topic. So I'm just going to bring her a little bit of her documentary into the stream, and let's just take a look at what happened at the crash. Let's look at the crash that started this all. If it weren't for the crash, none of us would be here talking about any of this. Awesome documentary. Which one is it? There it is. Okay. Sorry, we love StreamYard. We love StreamYard. We do.
At 5:34 a.m., a surveillance camera on Pearl Road captured the car making a slow, controlled right turn onto Progress Drive. The headlights were on. The road ahead was straight, quiet, and empty. There was no one around. Progress Drive is not a road you end up on by accident. It is an industrial cut-through, a stretch of warehouses and commercial buildings tucked away from the residential streets of Strongsville. It was not the way home, and it was not a route Mackenzie normally took. For a few seconds, the car moved at a normal speed, then it didn't. The accelerator went down, and it stayed down. Through the length of that road, past the warehouses, past every point at which a driver would naturally slow or turn, the car kept accelerating, the speed climbing. The brick wall of the Plitco manufacturing facility sat at the end of the road, where Progress Drive met Alameda Drive in a T-junction, a dead end with nowhere to go. But the car never slowed, and at 5:39 a.m., the car struck the corner of the building at close to 100 miles per hour. The impact was catastrophic. The front end of the Camry was destroyed so completely that it appeared to have been cut in half. Dominic, reclined in the passenger seat, suffered severe head trauma. Davion, in the back, was thrown forward with such force that he came to rest on top of Dominic, both of them motionless in what remained of the front of the car. Mackenzie was driven under the front console, wedged beneath the collapsed dashboard, her foot still pressing the accelerator to the floor.
Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God. Oh my God. Times 3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious. No one's breathing. Bust that window out. Rookie. Oh my God, dude. Who can hear my voice? Drivers, radio, the driver is breathing unconscious. This is bad, guys. She's alive. We got to get her out somehow. All right. Reach up and unlock the door. She's breathing. Head's wedged. Let's see if we can get some IDs, guys. Oh, yeah, they're all pretty young. Oh, my God.
I don't feel anything. I don't feel a pulse.
She's breathing. I saw her stomach. Her stomach's moving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't feel good.
We got 2 that are gone.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
God.
don't even know how to freaking. Is this locked or something?
It's
Can we lock it from that side?
it ain't gonna budge. It's on the frame. Let's go around and see if we can.
Oh wait, we can probably pull them from the front.
Oh my God. Sarge, we're good to try to get her out? Oh, dude, I don't know if we can.
No, just wait until the squad gets here. Because you can't, she's pinned in there.
Oh my God.
She's breathing now?
Breathing?
She's breathing. She's breathing.
Let me
Head wide.
try to reach in and like sternum rub.
I don't feel anything. I don't feel pulse.
I don't feel a pulse on this guy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel a pulse on this one guy.
This one, his.
We got two guys on. Okay.
And his
I know.
head.
Jesus
down.
Christ. This is the worst I've ever seen.
Like this.
I mean, either she's drunk or high, or she just isn't from here, was going way too fast, and didn't know what the road ended. Because, I mean, it looks like they even went off the road up there.
They did.
So it's
right
like-
behind my car.
Okay. So it's,
They might have came corrected from the other side.
yeah, maybe. But, I mean, if you're hitting a building that hard, I just can't believe all the people that work up here that are up here all night long, no one heard.
They're in factory type settings. So-
Yeah, well,
And it's dark over here.
that's insane, though.
The engine's still a little warm, I think, so.
Still, it's like,
Firefighters used hydraulic tools to tear open what remained of the car. Davian was pulled out first, then Mackenzie, then Dominic.
Oh my God.
31's gonna go this way. Head this way. Watch step. Watch step.
I copy. 2131. They said that there are fire.
Mackenzie was alive, her oxygen levels critically low, but tragically, Dominic and Davian were pronounced dead at the scene.
What's your name, dear? Mackenzie. Okay.
Was it a witness crime?
Okay, so I wanted to play you that, and so you could see the magnitude of the crash. And I know that many of you are already familiar with this. Probably a lot of you have seen this already, but I think, just seeing the crash itself, the damage that was done to the car, apparently there was debris from the car, 75 yards and more away, large pieces of debris. And there were even pieces of the car that were later found on the roof of the brick building that Mackenzie drove into at nearly 100 miles an hour. Excuse me, I have some allergies. My voice gets a little weak sometimes towards the end of my sentence. So I don't know. Anaphylaxis, do you have any reference for, the magnitude of the crash when the debris field is that large and there are pieces of the vehicle found on the top of the building even? Our moderator, Anaphylaxis, is former law enforcement, and sometimes she can, contribute some good insight in that way. Let us know if you have any thoughts on that. Okay, so I'm just going to play a little more. This goes into this goes into the police telling her parents, I believe at the hospital, what happened. And I definitely want to take a look at that. I think that's what's next. I have a bunch of notes here with some timestamps.
No, they just drove by this morning at 6 and saw the car here.
Okay.
We have no idea when it happened.
Okay.
Sometime overnight.
No idea where they came from.
No, they're just coming down Progress this way for sure.
I got time of call and time of death when you are ready.
He's warm to the touch. Very warm.
All right. Time of death
6:44.
for both of them.
Yeah.
Behind her, on the ground beside the wreckage, officers found a small amount of marijuana in her purse, a digital scale, and, concealed in her clothing, 8 grams of psilocybin mushrooms.
And mushrooms and a scale under. I secured it in my car.
Oh, okay. Yeah, marijuana, and mushroom. Molotov cocktails.
There are also grinders in that bag.
Not that we can see.
Engine's still pretty warm, so it can't be too.
So it's you can see one.
Oh, that's fair. Within a few hours.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I mean. Oh my God, you're in this, huh?
I'm trying. We need to get this guy ID'd. His family needs to know.
Mackenzie was airlifted to Metro Health Medical Center in Cleveland. Her body was broken in multiple places, a fractured femur, 3 broken ribs, a lacerated liver, a lacerated kidney, a shattered arm, damage to both carotid arteries from the force of her neck snapping forward. At the hospital, officers informed Mackenzie's parents, Natalie and Steve Shirilla, of what had happened.
What'd they tell you?
Nothing.
Okay, she was life flighted here.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that.
Okay. No. You want to sit down?
Oh my God.
Wait, way to say this. So progress in Alameda, car into a building. 2 are deceased in the vehicle. Daughter's driving.
Who died?
I don't know whether, but there's one that we don't know. His name's Jacob. Does anyone know Jacob?
Dom?
No, stop. Let him talk.
Guys, I know we've been dealing with this. Your daughter's okay. She's talking to us. I talked to her. Okay, your daughter's alive. Okay, your daughter's alive. She was driving the vehicle. Okay.
Who's that? Jacob and who?
I think. What's the name you said?
Dom.
Might be.
Oh my God.
Stop.
What's his relation to you? Okay. Yeah, then Dom was in the car.
Stop. Oh my God. What? Are you kidding me?
Ma'am, it's.
What?
That's where we're at right now. Okay.
What did she say? What happened?
What?
It's right now. It's an ongoing investigation. Speed is definitely a factor. So are drugs.
Oh my God.
After getting more details about the drugs and other items investigators had found at the scene, the officer returned to speak with the Shirillas again. It is worth noting that at this point, officers had not yet formally identified Dominic. They believed the male passenger to be someone named Jacob, which is why there may be a moment of confusion in the footage, as the details were relayed to the family.
Full transparency here. There's drugs in the car. She had a bag of mushrooms on her and a scale. Full transparency, guys. I'm sorry, I'm ripping the Band-Aid off. Okay, drugs in the car. It's a mess. Okay. We're not going to do anything with the blood draw or anything here, but it will probably be subpoenaed, just so you guys know. They're going to subpoena for a blood draw for the sample. Okay. Since she's unconscious, I really will, if you guys could talk, if she wakes up, we need a name of that passenger. Okay.
Wait, you don't know it?
We don't. All I know is his name is Jacob. That's it.
Where were people in the car?
She was driving, one in the back seat, and Jacob was in the front. Davion in the back. You're the parent. I mean, you have the right to know. This is serious. But me and him were the first ones on scene to discover.
It was awake, but not awake, so she put back
in and out of consciousness. She'd be fully extracted from the vehicle by FD. I know she has a severe leg injury. But like I said, she was speaking. She was speaking, okay? And she had her seatbelt on. Yes. We had to cut it off to get her out.
Stop.
Yeah, that probably saved her life. 100% saved her life.
She had a seatbelt up. Oh.
I don't believe the others did.
Oh my God. Oh my God. She got it up.
It was at Progress in Alameda. Like I said, they hit a building at a very high speed.
She had it on.
She did not hit another vehicle.
The drugs were on her, or like on a person, or just on her? Or did somebody else's? Could it be that she hit that person? What does that mean? They were.
Yeah. That's the least your worries at this point, guys.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm just trying to gather information. I'm an information gatherer.
Yes.
Okay, so heartbreaking, guys. And you know, the next scene in this documentary, again, I'm going to put the link to it in the description of this video. It's the best one I've seen, hands down. It's so good. Ellie Mack did an amazing job. So I hope you guys watch it. Next, oh God, we see police body cam footage of them doing the notification for Dominic's parents. Many channels who've shown that didn't show Dominic's mother's full reaction. And I've been debating on whether I want to play it or not. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to see it. There's a point where it just becomes so upsetting to watch. It's almost unbearable. It's almost unbearable. The first time I watched it, I cried for I couldn't stop crying for about an hour. I mean, if you're a parent or if you're just someone who, loves a young person or anyone deeply, just is seeing what Dominic's mother was going through, it's just so raw. You can feel it yourself, and it's so heartbreaking. It's one of the hardest things I have ever watched, as far as true crime goes, ever. In all these cases that we watch all this really difficult content all the time. If you guys want me to play it, we can play it later, but I'm not going to just yet because I don't know if I'll be able to continue the stream. I can hardly breathe just thinking about it. So I just want to point out how Mackenzie Shirilla's mother, Natalie, her reactions are just strange. We noticed this throughout. He's describing how horrific the accident was. You can tell when the cop is telling the parents, he's trying not to cry. You can hear it in his voice. His voice is shaking. He's trying to hold it together. He's trying to keep his composure. And you can tell by the way he responds to her that he is also a little bit confused about the reaction he's getting from the parents. Now, as a seasoned law enforcement professional, he probably knows that when you notify people of this horrific kind of news, that there is a range of reactions that can all perfectly fall into the normal part of the bell curve of reactions people have when they hear horrific news. But somehow, just like Mackenzie's behavior and Mackenzie's response and reactions to things are not in that normal range on the bell curve where, we're all different, but, there's just kind of this way that you react or you behave that it's just sort of okay, right? And then on the ends of the bell curve, it's that behavior. And this is the behavior I deal with in my career where it's just where did that come from? That does not fit what's going on here. What's going on there, child? So Mackenzie's mom is drugs, were they on her? She starts asking all these questions. Were they on her? Is she going to get charged? About the drugs. And the cop is just ma'am, that's the least of our worries here. This was a very, very serious crime. And, just to know, it's very strange. Oh, goodness. Oh, hey, Lottie. So glad you can make it tonight, too. So, again, we're going to be focusing on the family dynamics here, Mackenzie's behavior, her parents' interaction with her there. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to just let the cat out of the bag here. I personally think, and again, for those of you who don't know, I'm a behavioral therapist. I'm not diagnosing Mackenzie. In fact, I'm not qualified to diagnose Mackenzie. Only a doctor could diagnose whether she has this type of personality disorder or not, or psychiatrist. I could do evaluations that I would send to a doctor that would be a reference for them, that would give them very good information about what is going on with the person, but I would never make that diagnosis myself. So I'm not claiming to, and I'm not trying to do that. But in my humble, whatever, YouTube creator opinion, I very strongly believe that Mackenzie Shirilla has borderline personality disorder. And I'm just mentioning this because I do believe that it is important to take this into account if we really want to understand what the fuck is going on here, right? So let me just bring this little slide into the stream. Okay, and again, I am suffering from crazy spring allergies, so I'm sorry if I sound a little breathless at times because I am and my mouth is really dry. It's very strange. A couple weeks a year this happens. So here are some of the indicators that you're going to see in a person who has borderline personality disorder. How does this look for you guys? Again, I love you, StreamYard. Let me take down the comments. I think that's about as good as I can do. Yeah? I don't know. I think. Does that look okay, y'all? Make it big. Whoa! Uh-oh, that got really big really quick. Sorry. Oh, it's not showing. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Anyway, good enough. I'm going to go with good enough. Good enough. I'm learning how to say good enough sometimes. Okay. So borderline personality disorder is characterized by emotional instability, defined as extreme rapid mood swings that can last from a few hours to a few days. This includes intense anger, anxiety, and a chronic feeling of emptiness. So, with having this chronic feeling of emptiness, oftentimes, almost always, we see attention-seeking behaviors and extreme attention-seeking behavior in people who are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, such as we see with Mackenzie Shirilla. Always wanting to be the center of attention, posting themselves online all the time, wanting everybody to respond. They weigh the value of their self-worth in how many likes and comments they get on a post. The like psycho texting to people in their lives, specifically romantic partners. They need to have their romantic partners undivided and adoring attention all the time. This is so common for people with borderline personality disorder. And if they don't have that, then they feel the void. The undivided and just over the top attention that they need from their romantic partners temporarily fills that void that people with borderline personality disorder experience. And for a moment, that makes them feel comfortable and okay, kind of, but as soon as they feel like that over the top, complete undivided attention is no longer theirs, it's complete panic, total anxiety, and really extreme behavior. Okay, so also what characterizes borderline personality disorder is fear of abandonment. It goes along with what I just said. A strong and often overwhelming terror of being rejected or separated from loved ones. Usually it's a romantic partner, which can lead to going to extreme lengths to prevent that loved one from leaving. Also characterized by unstable relationships. People with borderline personality disorder have patterns of intense, turbulent relationships. People with BPD may quickly shift from idealizing someone, viewing them as being perfect, to devaluating them, viewing them as cruel or uncaring, and acting cruel and uncaring to them. It's also characterized by identity issues, a distorted or rapid shifting sense of self, which can include suddenly changing goals, values, or career paths, or not having any of those things. Impulsive behavior, engaging in risky, self-sabotaging actions such as reckless driving, unsafe sex, binge eating, or anorexia, or substance abuse or misuse. It's also characterized largely by self-harm and can't say that word on YouTube. You just can't. Stupid as it is. I'm sorry. Sorry, we can't be adults here. Frequent threats of self-injury or self-eliminating, often used as a way to cope with severe emotional pain or feelings of emptiness. So those of you who know anything about Mackenzie Shirilla, do you think that those qualities of a person with borderline personality disorder describe her? What do you guys think about that? To me, I'm like, check. Give that one 5 checks, please. So I've seen, oh gosh, where do we go next? I've seen that a few of you in the chat have mentioned her father being aware of the dangers that were in Mackenzie Shirilla's life and even in her relationship with Dominic. And yeah, you think all of them? Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if you guys have been watching Mr. Shirilla's interviews recently since the crash came out, but they are growing increasingly unhinged as time goes on. I think the one that we're going to hear an excerpt from right now was the last, and he made a rebound because the one before that was with TMZ, and it was like woza. But let's just listen to that clip that a lot of you are bringing up because I've seen like 5 of you in chat bring this up. So let's just get right to that so we can include it in our analysis and our view of what's going on here with the Shirillas and Mackenzie Shirilla. did they create a monster? That's the question I'm asking here. Dominic's sister, in one of her interviews, she's done a lot of interviews. She started a YouTube channel. I think it's called like Big Sister Unhinged. It's really great. I'm so proud of her. She's trying to find, a productive outlet to deal with her emotion and also to get correct information out there to, stand against what she believes is this is her belief, the Shirilla's campaign to put out a false narrative. She also has proposed Dominic and Davian's law, which is an extension of the Son of Sam law. And the Son of Sam law does not allow people who have been convicted of certain crimes to profit from their crime while they are in a period. But I think while they're in prison or period, I'm really not sure. I'd have to look up the law. Like Chris Watts can't make money off a book deal while he's in prison. This is going to be a state law, and most states have adopted some variation of the Son of Sam law. So what Christina, Dominic's sister, is proposing is that we need to extend that law to say that people who are accused of these horrific crimes, it's not just book deals. We need to update it, okay? They can't be making money off like merch deals on their Insta when they get a bunch of followers because they're a wannabe model who just caused a fatal car accident and got all busted up herself and is now actually gaining some traction on her Instagram account. You get me? And in one of her interviews, she really is so compassionate towards the parents. I mean, she definitely has anger and she's, she'll let you know that. But somebody asked her, so what do you want to see happen to them? She's like, I don't know. Like, I'm not wishing people ill here. Like, they've got a really tough road to hoe at this time. I mean, they're kind of a freaking mess. The family unit she's talking about. She's like, I've always wondered if parents can create a monster. And now I know, yes, you can, because they did. So is she right about that? I'm wondering what you guys think. Okay, I'm going to bring in Mackenzie's dad here. So again, this is his most recent interview. I do believe the one that many of you have mentioned. So let's just pull it out on the carpet here. And he talks about the firearms and Dominic's trunk in just a moment. I just backed it up a couple minutes because the whole interview has insanity in it, but let's just get some context here.
Bad parent.
Oh, yeah, that was a great place to start. Bad parent, hands up, bad parent. I know. Let me actually go back a little farther. Yep, you are a pretty bad parent, actually, sir. Pretty bad. Okay, really bad.
He saw that there was nothing. They didn't have anything, and I think maybe that's what he's doing because it's the burden of proof.
Okay, so the drum that he keeps beating on is even after she has been convicted of all counts, all our charges against her, she's been convicted, including 2 counts of intentional murder. 2 counts of intentional murder with intention to murder. He keeps saying they had no proof. All they have is 5 seconds of the black box in the Camry that we gave our daughter, who's 17 and lives not in our home, but with her 20-year-old boyfriend, and they sell drugs and But anyway, they don't have any evidence that she intended this murder. They have just that 5 seconds of the black box recording of, what was going on, the telemetrics in the car. He just says it again and again and again and again. But if you've been following this at all, my friends, there is, in my opinion, and in the judge's opinion, and in the opinion of most people, well, many people at least who have been following this case and watched the crash, there was plenty of evidence to substantiate the charge of intentional homicide. But anyway, that's just what he keeps repeating out there.
Is on the prosecution, so he doesn't really have to say anything. You have to prove it, and I don't think, and I don't believe, and if you listen to that prosecutor did not prove intent. But Tim Troop in the documentary says, I looked at everything and I couldn't figure it out, so it has to be this. It's almost like the wife dies in an accident in the house, and they look at everything, but it's the husband. It's a jump. It's a lazy jump.
It is a lazy.
In the detective. I don't know how that guy has his job. I don't know how he became a detective. That's my opinion. This is a lazy dude. He was in the bind over. He was on the stand, and the only time Mackenzie's lawyer was doing anything for her was when he was cross-examining him. And at some point, he goes to the detective and goes, "What do you think happened?" And he stammers, "I don't know." And I wasn't in there because I was supposed to be a witness. Me and Jim argued back and forth because I didn't like how Jim was talking and saying and doing stuff. So he kept me out of the room so I didn't upset the cart, I guess. But if I'd have been in there, I would have shouted. Our lawyer should have turned to the judge, who's an O'Malley, who I think is a sister or a brother or a cousin to Mike O'Malley. And should have turned to that judge and said, "Motion to dismiss." How does the guy who's finding all this evidence, all this massive evidence, not speculation, evidence, not I think she did it. Oh, we believe she did it. Oh, I feel she did it. It's evidence. I don't know why he didn't turn to that judge and go, how does this guy who knows all this, who's the keeper of all the evidence, not know? So if this guy doesn't know,
that guy has doubt.
If this guy, the guy who's looking at it, doesn't know, if he doesn't know, how do you even charge somebody?
Yeah, I do think, I think he, yes, is in denial, but I mean, and he's in, his daughter has been convicted of these murders. She's probably going to spend the rest of her life in prison. This documentary just came out where they just looked really bad, in my opinion. Did anyone think that the documentary, if you've watched it, painted them in a good light? So they're probably really feeling it now, but he doesn't make sense. He's like, oh, he's asked the lead investigator, who was a rookie and I think was amazing. I think he did an amazing job personally. What do you guys think if you're familiar with him? He said, oh, I don't know what happened. So, he doesn't know what happened. So there's no evidence. No, he doesn't intrinsically know what happened because he wasn't there. He's not God or the powers that be, flying over, looking down at the car from a 360 view and seeing exactly what happened. He's not inside the telemetrics of the car. He does not know. But what he has done is an investigation that collected evidence that made a substantial case that proved beyond all reasonable doubt in the mind of a judge, because, oh, by the way, Mackenzie Shirilla chose a bench trial over a jury trial. Yeah. And you know what? Apparently her attorney recommended it. Yeah. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. I want to talk to this attorney. Mackenzie Shirilla's attorney, please come on, talk to us. I have one question for you, and then you can go on your merry way. How the hell did he allow her to have a bench trial? Anyway, I don't want to go down that road right now because that could be a big conversation too. But her dad's point doesn't make any sense here. He doesn't intrinsically know what happened, but what his job is to do is to compile the evidence that proves beyond a reasonable doubt that what she's charged with is accurate. And he did that in spades.
With any kind of thing, you don't know. You're guessing. You're making a guess. You watched CSI last night and you're making a call off of watching CSI a couple episodes.
Yeah.
This guy's a danger. He's a dangerous. This is a dangerous detective out of Strongsville. He's dangerous. Anybody, you get pulled over now in Strongsville speeding, it's attempted murder. That's the precedent they've set with this case.
How long do you think she'll be in jail?
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you preparing for a long haul? Are you very hopeful?
I'm hopeful somebody with some common sense and can look at everything. I mean, not the minutia, not the screaming people online, but look at the evidence. This, A, B, C, D, whatever, and look and subjectively look at what was presented, and look and say, look, okay, you got some black box information. The car was going fast. You can't explain the car. You can't explain the speed. The video clearly shows the brakes going on, no matter what the expert says.
Can explain the speed, and what the state proved, and in my opinion proved it well, because I believe this is the case. The only way to explain the speed that the car was traveling at, after all of the scrutiny that car was put under to check the mechanics and I think it's like a 2027 Toyota Camry, and Camrys actually are known to be very good, reliable, safe cars, right? there was nothing that would have, there's nothing anybody could find that even hinted towards, oh, it may have been this that caused the speed. The only thing that would cause that speed is the foot or something connected to the driver pressing down on the accelerator at with absurd pressure until she could no longer push on the accelerator because it was pushing into the floor. And, physics just doesn't allow that. That's what explains the speed. It's not that there's no explanation. It's that he does not want to accept the explanation. And I understand that, but he just lost his job for what he said in the Netflix documentary. Or, I think that just like this yesterday, he officially lost his job. Come on, dude. Come back to reality. Back to reality. I am a really nice person, sometimes too nice. I will throw you a life preserver. And after that, we're not going to hang out. No. But I'll help you get up here. You got to get back to reality, dude, because you are spiraling. And that's pretty damn obvious, isn't it?
So it's funny that it broke there and it didn't break there, or there. So if that's a safety feature for a car, I've been 100 in a car. I don't remember my car braking for me when I was going over 100. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it is. So I don't get it. And she didn't drive directly into that building. She drove mind you, it's apples to oranges here. She hit that sign first, and that sign veered her into that building.
Whoops. I don't know how long my mic was muted for. Sorry. Oh, I hear my phone going off. Someone's probably telling me it's muted. Darn it. Oh, did I explain about the brakes? Did you guys hear me talking about that? Well, here's what he was referring to when he says the brakes were tapped twice. And this is from Crime Circus.
Video down and zoom in a little. Did you see that? The brake lights clearly illuminate. Let's watch it again to make sure. Let's slow the video down even more. The brake lights are activated twice. First right here, and the second time right here.
Okay, so you didn't hear anything. Ah, man, I hate it when I do that. I need to start paying more attention to my phone. Okay, it's right with me now. So I was saying that, yes, it does appear that the brake lights turned on in those couple moments before the car traveling 100 miles an hour hit that brick wall. And I did have an opportunity to talk to an auto mechanic specialist who I work with, who did work in forensics for 12 years about this. And he said, and I well, slow down, Kelly, slow down. I wanted him actually to come on and talk with us tonight, but I think he's going to come on the stream on Wednesday. So we're going to hear from him. But the way he explained it to me, and listen, auto mechanics is not my wheelhouse. So I'm just going to tell you what I understood from him, like in a summary. That when a car is behaving that erratically and it is doing things that are things that the car has never done before, ways the wheel is turning, the speed that it's traveling, the car is, sort of undergoing a state of movement or velocity or whatever it may be, that it really it's like, I'm not liking this. This is like way out of my comfort zone, that things will happen. Like he said, he could see something electrical, like the brake lights illuminating for a moment, being a result of that abnormal stress that the car is enduring because of the way the car is being driven at the speed it's being driven, right? So we're just going to put a pin in that and perhaps come back to it later. And I'm going to try to not mute myself when I'm intending to talk to you. All right, back to Mackenzie's cuckoo, 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 dad. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I just got to call a spade here.
What would happen if she kept going straight? I don't know. They'd be all dead. Who knows? I don't know. I know my daughter didn't do it on purpose. I know when my daughter lies. That was part of the documentary too. I gave a story where something happened at the school and blah, blah, blah. But I know when my daughter lies. It's my daughter. There's a twinkle in her eye.
Oh God, this really irritates me too. So the story from Netflix is, he said, yeah, one time, Mackenzie, she got not expelled since she'll be going. She got detention, kicked out of school. I don't know. It was like the last day of school or something. She did something really bad. Dad had to come in to get her. And he walks into the office and she's crying. The principal's there and he's intended to come in and talk to the principal and his daughter together like a responsible parent would. I've been in this situation. Put on your earmuffs, honey. Hopefully he's not hearing me talk about this. My kid, he's 17. He won't like it. And that's what you do, right? And then that shows the student that you and the administrators of the school, you're not the other team. We're all working together. Child, young one, little grasshopper, you need to learn a lesson. Let me be the responsible parent and help be part of that lesson being taught to you, because isn't that what parents are supposed to do? But what does this dude do? He goes in there, his daughter's crying, and he says, well, did you do it? Did you do it? And she said, no. And I know my daughter. So I went, flip of the hand, good enough for me. Let's get out of here. And took her from the school, left the principal sitting there like a dumbass, not even talking to the principal, not having the sit down meeting that was intended to happen between the principal and the student who was exhibiting behavior that was so maladaptive that they were being thrown out of school. And then the parent who was supposed to come in and kind of be the cohesive, element that, brings the experience to the reality of the consequence, brings it all together so your child can learn a lesson that will benefit them in life. Because life ain't easy, right? We know it. But Steve just goes like, no, good enough for me. I know my daughter. She has a twinkle in her eye when she's telling the truth. I know if she's telling the truth. So, once again, that is parental behavior that is on the outlying end of that bell curve. This is not normal. And I talk to shitloads of parents for the reason that their child just did something that they got in a lot of trouble for. And the behavior behind whatever that was is just not acceptable. And now we need to have a little powwow. And I have had a couple parents react like that, but it's not normal and it's definitely never good. It's total extreme avoidant behavior. And it's, just irresponsible parenting.
There's something I can tell when she's not being honest with me. She doesn't look at me. It's it's my daughter, and if that makes me a bad parent, I'm not a bad parent.
Yes, you are.
I did my best with my daughters. I try to teach them rather than punish them.
Sorry.
This world's crazy, and there's some crazy stuff that goes on. There's some crazy people in this world. So I was doing my best.
That's right, Steve. All the more reason to be a motherfucking responsible parent. Just suck it up, do the things that need to be done, and just parent. Like, this guy is like, man, oh man. Like, Mrs. Shirilla likes little girly boys, because this right here is a little girly boy. No offense to the girls of the world.
The teacher, and I picked my battles that I felt happened. How was I ever going to stop her from smoking marijuana? My daughter should have been charged with vehicular homicide, 2 counts in juvie court, and it should have never left. The juvenile judge took out the aggravated murder thing for the same reason I'm saying they should have never charged her because there's no intent, there's no prior calculation, there's no purpose. It's not there. And again, Tim Troop can get up there and and dum dum dum, Tim Troop, and she did this and I feel this. It's not evidence. He can feel all he wants. It's not evidence. And I think he did it's a complete injustice to my daughter, and this has nothing to do with the boys. It's again tragic that those boys died, and she has some responsibility to it. But what that is, nobody is ever going to know, and because nobody.
So he just said it has nothing to do with the boys. This has nothing to do with the boys, referring to Dominic and Davian, the 2 young men whose lives have been lost forever, who are gone, who died brutal, I'm sure horrifying deaths. I mean, Dominic's face was described as being absolutely mangled. Mangled was a descriptive word. His face was mangled. That's not a word you want to be describing a face. But he and they do this time and time again. That's why I'm pointing it out in various ways with various words to various degrees. It has nothing to do with boys. This has nothing to do with the boys. No, this has everything to do with those boys. Don't you get it? No, I'm sorry, you don't get it. This has everything to do with those boys, and this should be all about those boys and those lives that were lost and the crime that caused those lives to be lost. So when he says things like that, I feel a fire under my skin. I'm like, you ignorant jackass. How could you say it has nothing to do with those boys? How could you even utter those words? Are you guys all with me on that? Or am I being a little too sensitive here?
Was in that car, and there's no evidence, and there's no story, there's no paper, there's no note, there's no video. My daughter and the remorse.
I'm sorry, the question that was just asked of him is, do you believe your daughter was that S word that YouTube flips out about if it's spoken, meaning you take your own life? He's like, no evidence of that, none. There was no note. If somebody's S word, there must be a note.
That's another thing that's huge. I sat with my daughter for 3 months in that room right there. 3 months. Watching her watch every video, every song, every picture about that boy. There was a shrine to him in that room. Shrine. Cried herself to sleep every night. I know the trolls are going, good, she should cry herself to sleep. She has remorse. Yeah. She was upset. If you would have heard her when she found out that Dom died, if you would have heard the sound that came out of her.
Now, we all know that tears and expressions that are often associated with feelings of deep sadness aren't necessarily indicators of remorse or deep sadness. They can also mean fear. They can, a number of different things. So, but I get it. The way he's interpreting his daughter's behavior in his mind is how it is. And I get it.
It would have crushed you. She was 17. She's a dumb kid. She wasn't breaking up. She didn't do it on purpose. And I've asked her, did you do this on purpose? And she's going, no. And I would think if my daughter was that mad at that boy to want to kill him that way, Davian would have never been in the car.
Right.
That.
I wonder what makes him say that. If he was so mad at him to want to kill him that way, Davian never would have been in the car. Like, what do you, I don't know why he says that, but the next thing we're going to take a look at is her anger and her expressions of anger and that kind of extreme anger that is an indicator of borderline personality disorder that we went over a little while ago, that behavior towards Dominic repeatedly as a pattern that was increasing pretty quickly in frequency and intensity as, the days tick down towards July 21st or 31st, which was the day of the accident.
Makes no sense. If she was going to do that to Dom, there were guns all over that kid's house. Okay.
Where'd the guns come from?
He bought them. I don't know. The reason I know he has guns, because something was going on over there, and he took all the guns and threw them in my daughter's trunk. And I went into my daughter's trunk to get something, and in the trunk there was 10, 15 guns. Half of them were loaded. I had to.
Oh my God.
So that's how I know he has guns. If she was going to kill him, that would make more sense to me.
All right. So that's a clip you guys were all talking about. So, wow. Okay. So Dominic is Mackenzie's boyfriend, the boyfriend that these parents are allowing to provide a home for the daughter. The daughter does not live with them. She was living with Dominic, who's 3 years older than her. It's a known fact that they were selling illicit substances to make money, and they were making a lot of money off of it. There's quite a thriving business. And I'm not even like trying to throw that into the equation as being a negative or positive for either of them, but that was just what was going on. Whether parents knew that or not, I don't know. But, and he says, oh, no, he was asked in a Netflix documentary, like, wow, like your 17-year-old daughter, was living with her boyfriend at 17. Like, what do you think about that? Like, you were like, really? You were totally, okay with that decision? He's like, oh, yeah. You don't know Mackenzie. She's responsible. They were responsible together. They were in love. They had plans to get married. They cooked chicken and broccoli together, healthy things they cooked together. They were, living this like really nice domestic life. There was nothing going on as far as them living together without any kind of supervision of, actual, adults. And I'm speaking in terms of brain development. Who's an adult as far as, is their brain fully developed into adulthood yet? No adults, watching over them. There was no problem with that. Then he tells his story of, he goes over there, he opens up Dominic's trunk, and he's got, 10 or 12 firearms in the trunk of Mackenzie's car. Most of them were loaded. What? Say what? Can you say that again, dude? But yet, you don't see any potential issue with allowing your 17-year-old daughter, who's just a little baby, as he had just said, to live with her boyfriend, who is 20 years old, and I think it, just presented as a much more mature person. You didn't have any problem with you saw 10 or 12 firearms in your daughter's trunk that belonged to Dominic. Most of them were loaded, and you weren't like, Mackenzie, get in the car now, we're going home. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Moms out there, would you be okay with that? Dads, do we have any dads in the room? Wow. Yeah, she's dating somebody who owns firearms, and they are kept in a safe. And of course, they are kept in a safe, unloaded. Ammunition is here. Guns are there, not loaded. Safe is locked. Children can't access them. People who are high on mushrooms or whatever else can't access them while they're high. But in your daughter's car, I just wow. It's just wow. So let's see. Jamila, welcome. How are you doing? I saw some of your other comments. Ask the question. I don't know who is worse, or the idea. I don't know who's worse, him or the mother. We're going to go down that road too. Let's see here. Hey, Mike Applegate, how are you doing? Mike says, tuning in now. Anyone else remember the crime circus clown simping for Mackenzie? Well, we're just about to get there, actually, mister. Yep. That's, oh God. Okay. No, there's just so much to talk about, guys. Let me look at my notes. Where are we going to go next? Okay. So now oh gosh. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the behavior, the relationship dynamics between Mackenzie and Dom. You know, that behavior that I was mentioning is that behavior that is indicative of a person with borderline personality disorder. For those of you who didn't catch that, I personally believe as a behavioral therapist who is not trying to diagnose Mackenzie Shirilla, couldn't, wouldn't, haven't met her, haven't talked to her, can't diagnose anyway, can only do referrals. But based on my experience just in life, as somebody who, you know, is into a lot of true crime, where we do tend to find a much higher rate of people with borderline personality disorder than you would in a random sample of population anywhere. I very strongly believe that Mackenzie Shirilla's borderline personality disorder, and I don't think that's the only thing that's kind of really like not in order in her life that needs to be addressed. It totally hasn't been, but I do think that. So, so we're going to look at the behavior of Mackenzie towards Dominic that is indicating, number one, emotional instability, extreme rapid mood swings that can last for a few hours to a few days that include intense anger, feeling of chronic emptiness, and it also encompasses that fear of abandonment, which is usually directed towards a romantic partner. Like, if they leave me, the world is going to end. People with borderline personality disorder often have a feeling because they need to fill that void that emptiness is like so painful to them, or it's so silent to them. They just, whatever reason, they can't tolerate whatever that feeling is, and filling that void with the excessive love and attention. It has to be excessive. If it's like a balanced, healthy amount of love and attention, then there's probably not a person with borderline personality disorder involved in the relationship. It really requires that kind of over the topness, right? And the fear of abandonment is so extreme. It is sometimes the underlying cause of, number 3 here, unstable relationships and patterns of intense, turbulent relationships. People with BPD may suffer from, shifting their view of someone really rapidly and erratically, which makes them treat them really, really well. And then they will belittle them, and they will humiliate them, and they will yell at them, and they will just be jackasses to them, and all of the other things that are going on. So, okay. So let's take a look at the excerpt of the excellent documentary that I told you guys I think is the best one out there, and I think you should watch it after this, or, this week or whatever. It's called Mackenzie Shirilla, The Full Story of Shirilla the Killer, true crime documentary on the channel Ellie Mac. Okay, so I got to go to minute 45 here. And welcome to those of you coming in. It's great to see you. Please say hello. Let us know what you think. This is a really important discussion about the issues that, we can clearly observe that are, hallmarks to this case, that are things that people really need to talk about more. Let's see. How should I do this? Okay. I'm just going to let the documentary present it, and then, I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud right now. The toxic relationship. Oops. Oh, I didn't switch it. Sorry. Gosh. There's like a function on my StreamYard that's not allowing me to put my files in through the back door, like things I've already downloaded. And so I have to keep stopping and starting things from the internet. So that's why it's a little clunky. I'm sorry for that. Mackenzie Shirilla, The Full Story of Shirilla the Killer. I love it. She did a great job. Okay, now.
Into the circumstances around.
Did I get to the? Yeah, I guess I did. Wait, 45. Okay, here we go.
Them.
A toxic relationship.
As investigators dug into the circumstances around the crash, they began speaking with the people closest to Dominic and Mackenzie. What they heard painted a picture of a relationship in serious trouble. Dominic's mother, Christine, told investigators that in the 6 months leading up to the crash, she had witnessed escalating fighting, arguments, disagreements, breakups, and threats, and that Mackenzie had become increasingly possessive. Dominic's brother Angelo, who lived next door to the couple, told detectives that Dominic had tried to end the relationship multiple times, even in July, but the two kept coming back together. Angelo described being called by Dominic to come and remove Mackenzie from the house on multiple occasions because she refused to leave. He also provided investigators with video footage filmed in July 2022, which captured Mackenzie threatening to break into the house and key his car.
You lied and said you would never lock me out of the house again. That is why we got back together last time we broke up. But I forgot.
You broke up with me
Your
earlier.
word. Because you are a little fucking weak bitch.
This incident that's, well, actually, I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm just going to play it. But pay super close attention to this. And then the next thing, it's super important to what we're going to talk about.
Broke up with me earlier. You really broke up with me
And also what Crime Circus is going to talk about, but incorrectly.
earlier.
This is your last chance to open the door, or you are not coming out of this house all night, because I will not leave.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, so just let me in the house.
No, like why can't you just be like calm at least for a second, and I can feel
I
comfortable
am
letting you in
calm.
the house.
I am calm. I don't think you get to decide that with your fucking weird ass.
You really threatening you really threatening to fucking keep my car and shit. What else you threatening?
Dom, I'm gonna give you one last chance to open the door. I'm gonna leave and do what I said I was gonna do. Open.
Kenzie, look. Let me go to dinner.
No.
You can let me go to dinner, then I can let you come over later.
No, you're not. I'm coming to dinner too. I'm coming to dinner too.
Why? You should have told me you wanted to come.
You fucking retard. She already put me on the reservation. So fucking open the door, you dumbass. Like open.
All right, here, let's just go next door then.
No, we're not going next door.
No, I'm not letting you in the house.
We need to talk first, no? Because you just like betrayed me.
All right, we can talk outside.
You know that's exactly what I mean. You don't even know exactly what I mean. You're gonna come open this door right now, or there's gonna be a serious fucking problem.
I can't. No, like you can't keep making all these threats. Like I can't
And
open the door.
You can't keep kicking me out of a place that you say is my own.
Kenzie, I didn't kick you out. You took all your shit and dipped. And said we were done. Like
I did not say we are done, Dom. Okay, ready? I'm gonna count to 10. The door's gonna open. Okay. You're gonna open the door and stop hiding behind the door like a little fucking bitch. Ready? 1, 2, 3,
Kenzie, I can't open the door.
4. Okay, I'm gonna break something, man.
Why would you break something? Why? What are you trying to break?
Open the door.
No, I'm not opening the door.
You're gonna open the door right now.
Why are we fighting
You have 1
outside?
minute now, actually.
Look, wait, now my mom's trying to call me. Like I got it.
No, if you hang up on me, we're done. I'm leaving. You have 30 seconds left on the phone call to open the door. We're done.
Kenzie, I really don't think I can. I don't think
If you can't open the door, then you can't be in a relationship with me.
you can come to dinner with us if you want.
Open the door.
Kenzie, if you want, you can come to dinner with us.
Tom, if you don't open the door, I'm keying your car.
Why the fuck would you key my? Why? Do not do anything to my car. I need to call my mom back, babe.
All right, is the door unlocked? I'm about to test it.
No, Kenzie, it's not wrong. Like, why are you acting like this?
Tom, I'm going to give you one last second or I'm going to have to key your car.
Why would that ever be like an option?
Because we're broken up if you don't let me in the house. I'm breaking up. I will break up with you. I'm going to break up with you if you do not open this fucking door.
You literally took all your shit and left. I thought like you didn't want to be here.
Okay, I'm going to break into your house then.
Dude, what the actual fuck?
Well, I just broke your fucking key thing, so that sucks.
What key thing?
I don't know. You're going to have to open the door to see it because that's where it's fucked up from the outside, you fucking dick.
Okay.
Now open the door.
No. Like you're not like you're saying you're breaking shit and stuff. Like you're not coming in my house.
I will break shit. Do I have to like call the police?
Why? Why would you call the
Do I have to
police?
call the police? Are you not going to let me into my house?
This is not your house. I'm calling my mom.
No,
Yes,
you're
I am. I'm calling you. You're not doing this.
Then we're going to break up. Then
This is my house. You
Then
don't.
we are done. If you do not let me in the house that I sleep in every night, we are done.
Kenzie, I can't
If
let
this
you in the
phone
house.
call is 10 minutes and I'm not in the house, then we're done.
No, Kenzie. No, Kenzie. I'm calling my mom. Goodbye.
No, you're not.
Investigators also spoke to people.
Okay, so all right, now you see what she did there, and I'm just going to take Dominic at face value there, and there is a lot of testimony and shared stories from other people that informed me and that caused me to feel that it's like safe, that I feel okay with taking Dominic at face value there. Although Jamila made a really good point that, she said I have a little problem, and she's a DA with, just one person recording. Because if you're recording, the other person doesn't, of course, that's going to, even if you're aren't aware of it, it's going to impact the way you're behaving. You're going to be asserting more control over the way you're behaving because you're recording it. And let's face it, you're recording it for a purpose, whereas the other person doesn't know. So it's very raw, but I still think that this interaction was, I take Dominic mostly at face value. And he's saying, no, Mackenzie, I didn't kick you out. You ditched. You took all your shit and ditched. And she's like, no, you kicked me out. And then, then she totally turns it around on him. Like she does something. She takes all her stuff and leaves because she's trying to get back that excessive amount of over the top love and attention that he does give her. He showers her with love, attention, affection, money, things, name brands, praise, all of those things that she needs so in him to fill that void that she has for potentially a number of reasons. But I strongly believe because she does have borderline personality disorder, but then she turns it around on him. We're going to see this happen again in a moment here in a way that I am going to bet you really scared Dominic, probably scared the crap out of him. I could imagine this next thing we're going to talk about could have potentially scared him in a way that he hadn't been scared of her before. And that happened on July 17th, just 2 weeks before the crash. But don't let me get ahead of myself too much. I just want to make sure we're observing all these nuances in the interactions. And yeah, and then Crime Circus is going to enter center stage.
Who had known the couple, friends, family members, and those who had been close to Mackenzie before her relationship with Dominic. Among them was one of Mackenzie's ex-boyfriends who spoke about what she had been like in a previous relationship.
Describe.
And I just want to say kudos to this young man and all the others who did speak up, to investigators so they could, properly charge the person that needed to be charges for the deaths of Dominic and Davian. Just lots of props to those young people who did that because I'm sure it was not easy for them. And many of Mackenzie's friends did not speak to investigators, not once. A couple of them in the Netflix documentary did not. And the detective in the documentary, if you didn't see it, he's like, I tried to talk to that person because she's critical. She was the last person to see them all together right before the accident. She's a critical piece of the puzzle. I tried to talk to her, 50 times. She wouldn't say a word to me, but sure, I'm glad she talked to you. Can't wait to hear what she says, like dumbass. Or you won't talk to me, but now you're speaking to the world on Netflix and don't think I'm not watching.
The relationship.
And that's kind of when all of us stopped being friends with just her. We were all cool with her still. Just because she's so crazy, she'll blow everyone's phone up.
The text messages between Mackenzie and Dominic, all 93,000 of them, spanning January 2020 to July 30th, 2022.
In 2 years, Dominic and Mackenzie had 93,000 texts between them. I don't really have a frame of reference for that because I don't know, the person I text most, how many texts would I have between them in 2 years? I don't know what that number is, but I do know that 93,000 is pretty big. And that again, the borderline personality and the need for the love and affection that she gets out of her primary intimate relationship, Dominic, has to be over the top. It has to be constant. It has to be everything to fill that void in her that is so big and so uncomfortable that it takes everything to fill it. Imagine what it did to Mackenzie if she thought Dominic really was going to leave her, and I do believe that she did. There's enough evidence for me to say, I think that's what happened. That is what I believe based on everything I've learned. She was in a state of absolute panic, anxiety, fear, just chaos constantly. She was constant. If she thought Dominic was going to break up with her, and let's say that she thought it's been about 2 weeks, she's thinking, every couple hours or every other day or whatever, something happens that makes her think, oh my God, I think he really is thinking about breaking up with me. How could he? He can't. He's mine. He's not supposed to. How could he do this? And I mean, the fear that someone with borderline personality feels at that moment takes over everything. And that's when all a semblance of rational thought and even moderately discriminating judgment is completely silenced, because the fear of what is filling that void being gone is the only thing they care about.
Painted a picture of a relationship that was, at times, deeply toxic in both directions. In one set of messages, she told him, "I'm gonna kill someone." In another, "I just want to bang my head on the wall till I'm dead." Other messages from the same period show her talking about not being pregnant, getting tested for STDs, feeling depressed, and complaining about how Dominic treated her. In one January 2022 exchange, Mackenzie threatened to find a sugar daddy and start selling feet pictures if Dominic did not handwrite her an apology. In a March 2022 exchange, Dominic accused her of having accepted money for sexual activity while they were broken up, something
And she did, and she admits it.
Mackenzie acknowledged had happened during a period when she said the two of them were not together. By June 2022, just weeks before the crash, Dominic was still bringing it up, and the arguments were as raw as ever. Then there was the highway incident. Roughly 2 weeks before the crash, on July 7th.
Okay, this to me is the critical of all critical things I want us to pay really close attention to here, because there are two stories about this, and I've heard a number of people arguing that, no, this version of the story is right. They're both right. They're both 100% right and real and legitimate. And I'm going to explain to you why. And we're going to see why that is fucking terrifying. Okay, listen here.
17th, Dominic had called his mother in distress while Mackenzie was driving, saying she was behaving erratically and that he was scared. Christine sent her friend Christopher Martin, known to the group as Hench, to retrieve him. Christopher Martin called Dominic as he drove and found both cars pulling over onto the shoulder of Interstate 71. As they pulled over, Martin heard Dominic and Mackenzie arguing. During the argument, Mackenzie said, "I'm going to wreck this car right now." When they came to a stop, Christopher saw a tussle inside the car, with Mackenzie swinging her hands at Dominic as he tried to get out. Dominic got into Christopher's car and was driven back to the Russo home. Dominic was not the only one who had expressed concern about Mackenzie's driving. Friends and family members described a pattern of...
Okay, so we're going to just stop right there, okay? And everything you just heard there. And Sherry, thank you again for gifting 5 memberships and for the super chat earlier. I really appreciate you. So our friend Sherry here has gifted 15 memberships. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome and generous, Sherry. And thank you for the support. So if you were gifted a membership, please thank our friend Sherry. We love her so much. She's a moderator here and she's amazing. Okay, so what was just spoken about, Dominic reaching out to his mother while he was on the highway in a car that Mackenzie was driving, and they were fighting, and he was scared. He called his mom and said, Mom, I'm in a car with Mackenzie. She's freaking me out. She's acting this way. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I need help. Mom sent a friend known to the group as Hedge out. He met them on the highway, got behind them. Eventually, both of the cars pulled over. Mackenzie driving with Dominic in the car, Hedge behind them. Hedge pulls by them and sees Mackenzie apparently being physical with Dominic, according to him. And this all came into evidence in the case. And then Dominic gets out of the car. Hedge hears her say, "I swear to God, I'm going to crash this fucking car. I swear I'm going to fucking crash this car." Like, just totally out of control, okay? Now, Crime Circus is going to present us with another story. And Crime Circus and others have said that the story you just heard and the story that they're going to tell, stay with me, it'll make sense, one or the other is true. No, my friends. This is reality. Not one thing is true at once and only one thing to the exclusion of all other things. And both of these stories that we're being told are in fact true all at the same time. It's on a timeline, a continuation of time on the space-time continuum. So let me kick it over to Crime Circus, who, by the way, in Mackenzie's father's most unhinged interview with TMZ, at the end and in the beginning and in the middle, he makes sure to send everybody to the Justice for Mackenzie pages. And also, if you really want to know what's going on, go check out Crime Circus. Now, let's remember, this is so ironic because Crime Circus's channel started out as a mockery of people's intense interest in true crime. True story. I wouldn't lie to you, but this guy might. I don't know. Just saying. I'm not saying he doesn't have a point every now and then, but just this one point I'm just using as an example. And I'm sure that Drip Drop, it's not lost on him that he started his channel as a mockery of the very people that follow it so loyally right now. So I'm just saying. This is so weird. Go to the Justice for Mackenzie Facebook page and Crime Circus. What the fuck?
Out these text messages. Approximately 2 weeks prior to...
I might go back a little bit here.
The simple fact is, she never threatened to do it.
No, she did. Oh God. Okay, wait. I just have to also point out that this bothers me, and people do it all the time. Politicians do it all the time. Used car salesmen do it all the time. No offense, used car salesmen. Creators on social media platforms that are, want to get more clicks and make more money do it too. They erroneously pit two alternatives against one another when that is the unnatural state of those two scenarios. Like I was saying, like in this case, both can be true at the same time and both are true at the same time, but on a continuum. So just be aware of that kind of stuff. And I personally believe that Drip Drop is like really skilled at using that audience manipulation technique. And I'm sorry if you're a fan of his, and I'm not a hater of him, but I have noticed that about him. That's all I'm saying.
Number 1, Mackenzie never threatened to crash the car, and there are no text messages and no recordings, and not a single one of their friends have made the claim. That's called no evidence at all, ladies.
But actually, okay, there we go with Mackenzie's dad. That's called no evidence at all. But what he said is not true. He said no friends of theirs have made that claim. That's not true. Admitted into evidence in a court of law. Hedge said that was the truth. And he said that she threatened it twice. And also Dominic's mother, who I find to be very credible.
Ladies and gentlemen, the simple fact is she never threatened to do it.
No.
In fact, there was actually an incident 2 weeks prior where her boyfriend allegedly apologized for allegedly attempting to crash the car by grabbing the wheel.
What?
What? Don't take my word for it. Let's check out these text messages. Approximately 2 weeks prior to this accident, Mackenzie had a little text message conversation with her boyfriend's mother. And she...
Okay, so you're going to hear what she said in this conversation, and I just want to pin this one comment here because this is we put this all together. It's going to answer the question, and both are true. So, Jamila said, "That's why I asked if there was a call log. Who called who?" So when Dominic called his mother to ask for help because he was scared in the car with Mackenzie because of the way she was driving, that they were having an intense fight, and that she was threatening to crash the car. That was a phone call. Mom then called Hedge. Hedge met up with them on the highway, tailed them, and then eventually got Mackenzie to pull over. After Mackenzie heard Dominic calling his mom and saying all of that to her on the phone, Mackenzie flipped the script and then not called, but text Dominic's mom and said this. Do you get it? Because Mackenzie already knew that Dominic called his mom expressing fear for his life because of whatever Mackenzie was doing and saying while they were in that car and she was driving. And she's like, oh shit, I can't let people believe that. You know, the facade, it would be gone. My mask would fall. It would shatter. Everyone would know that, you know, I'm really just this, you know, insecure girl with this big void in my heart and my life and I fill it with Dominic and all of him, and I need all of him. And if people know that this happened, especially his mom, that I treated him this way and he was that scared, she's not going to let me have all of Dominic, and I need all of Dominic, or I'm going to feel the pain from this void that I cannot tolerate, because that is borderline personality disorder. So here are the texts that Mackenzie sent after she heard Dominic tell his mom what was going on. There's other evidence that builds the story that I'm telling you right now. We're not going to go into all of it, but if you want me to do a video on that, I mean, I could, but not tonight, my friends, not tonight. Let's see. Where's my, okay. Oops, I'm sharing the wrong thing. Why is that sharing all of a sudden? Sorry. Sir, Drip Drop, where'd you go? What the heck? Sorry, I'm not sure what happened to Drip Drop. Oh, there he is.
Dear Mackenzie Shirilla,
He got all excited.
this is my little up because.
Wait, this is not the right one. Oh, wait, is it? Hold it. I'm sorry, guys. Is this the same one?
He never threatened to crash the car, and there are no text messages and no recordings, and not a single one of their friends have made the claim. That's called no evidence at all, ladies and gentlemen. The simple fact is, she never threatened to do it.
No.
In fact, there was actually an incident 2 weeks prior where her boyfriend allegedly apologized for allegedly attempting to crash the car by grabbing the wheel.
What?
What? Don't take my word for it. Let's check out these text messages. Approximately 2 weeks prior to this accident, Mackenzie had a little text message conversation with her boyfriend's mother. And she said, "Can you come get Dom? He just grabbed my steering wheel on the highway trying to spin out my car and hurt me. I'm scared to drive because it's raining, so I just need him to get picked up. If he doesn't get out of my car, I'm calling my dad, so please tell him to get out." Her boyfriend's mom says, "Hench is on the way, calm down for now, please." Mackenzie says, to be honest.
See, Dominic's mom's reaction is, Hench is already on the way. Calm down, please. Because Hench is already on the way because Dominic already called mom. They already had the conversation. Mackenzie heard it, all the things I just said about how that made her feel, and she already knew that Hench is on the way. So this is evidence in the black and white of extreme manipulation of her boyfriend. Extreme manipulation and desperation. And this is what I was saying. I bet this scared the shit out of Dominic. After whatever happened in that car made him so frightened that he called his mama and needed help. I mean, like, you know, I don't think he was calling his mama for help often because he was afraid that he was going to be harmed. You know, like that's pretty extreme itself. And then Mackenzie flips the script like this. Like this is like psycho behavior. And I am sure this must have been a really rude wake-up call for him.
I can't calm down when he just tried to end my life. Then he lied to you about it. Boyfriend's mom says, "I'm just trying to defuse for now. I'm not mad at anyone." So her boyfriend's mom calls her a liar, and then Mackenzie says, "First of all, I'm not lying about anything. Maybe you shouldn't take his words so seriously. You don't know how he treats me behind closed doors. It's never okay to try to end somebody's life. or put their hands on people. And then here's a text message conversation Mackenzie had with her boyfriend shortly after the incident on the highway. Her boyfriend says, "I'm sorry." And Mackenzie says, "That is not enough to fix this time." And he says, "Well, I am sorry. I just wanted to say sorry, that's it." Mackenzie says, "Oh, so you wanted to say sorry, but you didn't want to fix any of the massive problem you created? Cool." He says, "Yeah, it's not like anything's broken. There's no fixing." She says, "If that's how you feel, then we are done." Mackenzie says, "How can I believe that you're never going to do that again?" "I can't because I don't know your limit. Somebody who loves me would never do that. Never. I couldn't even do it if you told me to, but I guess that's different for you." And then her boyfriend says, "Yeah, I wasn't trying to do anything. I was..."
Oh shit, was I just muted that whole time? God darn it. Hate you, stream nerd. Was I muted? Shit. Oh yeah. Okay, I was just pointing out that these text messages now that are being read between Dominic and Mackenzie are on July 18th. July 18th was a day after the incident in Mackenzie's car where Dominic was so scared that he called his mom because he was scared for his life from what she testifies to on the stand. Mom sent hench, then Mackenzie sent those script flipped texts to try to manipulate the whole situation. And then this is the next day, the text between the two of them. And she's continuing gaslighting him, but in a really, really cruel, fucked up way that is, guys, what's going on here? What I'm saying is, I feel so sure after this July 17th and 18th and whatever was going on in the surrounding days, minutes, hours, whatever. I think this really opened up Dominic's eyes, because what she's doing right now, this behavior on the 17th and 18th, this is really, really, this is a behavior of somebody who is really mentally ill. This is really damaging, destructive, unhealthy, and to an extreme of behavior, actions, and words that all wave the big red flag that, is like, come look this way. Mental health issue must address now. Critical levels, crisis impending. Okay. So, I mean, I'm sure Dominic was terrified, and here it all is right in front of us to see the coming undone of, Mackenzie. And then also how her family reacted to it and enabled it, and the impact that it likely had on Dominic and the people around him.
Trying to pass myself away first? ? I would have died first, LOL. Like, if you don't believe me, then yeah, just break up with me. If you can't believe me, there's no point anyway. And then Mackenzie says, I mean, the fact that you're not saying anything to make me believe you shows that you would do it again. And so you're saying to pass yourself away, you would end me too? Why can you not fix problems for the effing death of you? Like, it's almost like you have fun doing it. Then her boyfriend says, No, I was just saying if I was trying to kill anyone in that situation, I'd die too, and probably first. And then Mackenzie says, so you would delete yourself first, so I die second? Why are you ignoring everything else I say? So what's your take on those text messages?
Dude, what the fuck? Like, what? I'm sorry, if you are currently involved in a conversation that resembles anything like those text messages between those two, please exit that relationship immediately and seek the nearest safe harbor. Oh my God. Whew. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Huh. Yikes. Julie says, I believe Dominic sold drunks and had guns. Yes, I stipulate to both facts, and we've gone over both of them during this live stream, but we've gone over a lot, so that's okay. But yes, both are true. And at one point, as her dad tells us at least, he had 10 or 12 of his guns, half of them loaded in Mackenzie's truck. And her dad opened the truck and saw him at Dominic's place, and he just went home and he was cool with it. Woo! Healthy living. Healthy living. But this is a girl who wouldn't eat a McChicken sandwich with her friend because she was too concerned about living a healthy life. Wow. Wow. All right. I'm thinking, just give me a moment here. All right. I'm going to play an excerpt of the day of Mackenzie Shirilla's sentencing when witness statements took place. And Natalie Shirilla, Mackenzie's mother, made a statement on Mackenzie's behalf. That was possibly the most tone-deaf witness impact statement I've ever heard. I mean, kind of a nose-to-nose sort of race with like Corey Richins, but very different, right? And well, I'm just going to let her speak for herself. Let me bring that into the stream. And again, this is going to be from that documentary I love so much, and I'm recommending highly to you, Mackenzie Shirilla, The Full Story of Shirilla the Killer. Very well done by Ellie Mack. This is so intense. This case is just so intense, but important to discuss. All right, what's my timestamp? 2 hours and 7 minutes. This is a very long documentary. Not as long as the Watts case documentary, which is now available on Watts the Obsession. If you haven't seen it right after this, you should go over and check it out because I have received a lot of really great feedback. And thank you guys. I worked really hard on it. I'm really proud of it, Mom. Let me know what you think. Do you like it?
Next, it was Natalie Shirilla's turn, Mackenzie's mother. She stood and addressed the judge, spending the first 5 minutes of her statement trying to justify hers and Mackenzie's actions in the weeks following the crash.
I just want to say, am I allowed to address them at all? Sure. I just want to say to the families that I'm broken, sad, and lost, and my heart hurts for everyone, okay? Davion was her new friend, and Dom was the love of her life, and he was part of our family. Okay, I'm just so sorry that this happened and we're heartbroken. Okay, and then, Your Honor, this was a terrible, tragic nightmare accident to have happened that she has no memory of, and she will never emotionally or physically recover from it. She almost died too, and we're asking that you please not run the sentences consecutive. He was family and we all loved each other. That morning of the accident, she called, I got a phone call that there was a car accident. Okay. So we went to the hospital and I didn't even know who was in the car. And I'm going to cry because I missed Dom so much. We loved him so much. So I called Dom like over and over again, praying that he was going to answer the phone, and he didn't answer the phone. So then I tried to call his mom and she didn't answer the phone either. And I still didn't know who was in the car. I didn't even know if she was alive. I didn't know what was happening. So then we were in the waiting room And then his mom she did call me. So I answered the phone and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't even know who was in the car. Like, what's happening? Was that Dom? And she said, what do you mean? My son is dead. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And then she said something like, and now I have to wait until your kid's out of the hospital. And then I didn't hear the rest. I was like, we loved him so much. And I hung up the phone. I did not talk about social media. I didn't even know what was going on yet. Okay. So then that was it. So in the hospital, that Vitality post, I commented on that because somebody had called her a murderer. Okay. And she's not a murderer. So she didn't even have her phone at that point because the police had still had it. Okay. So I jumped on and I was like, she's not a murderer. She's more sad than most of these people commenting. She's been trying to get in touch with you. I mean, at that point, it was just an accident. So I commented on her behalf, not because of the modeling opportunity. Who cares about that? I don't want them to refer to her as a murderer. Okay. And I don't even know how that comment got on the phone because the police still had her device and she could not access her phone or social media. That's why I did it. I had called them asking if they could shut down social media because people were calling her a murderer and making death threats and organizing groups to, take her out when she got out of the hospital and stuff. So I didn't even want her phone. I don't care about her phone. I don't care about social media. I just wanted them to stop calling her a murderer so that when she did come to, and she did come out of surgery, multiple surgeries, that she wouldn't see all these people calling her a murderer because she would never, ever, ever murder the love of her life. Okay. For Halloween, for 3 months after the accident, she would only wear his clothes. She would only eat the snacks he ate. She would only listen to the music he wrote, okay? She was laying in bed for 3 months crying. There was a shrine of him next to her with photos and things that he liked and this flower that lights up that he got her because he wanted it to be fresh and alive forever. It's like a little Beauty and the Beast flower. Okay, she's got this shrine of him next to her. So she was crying for 3 months. So her friends asked if she wanted to go out trick-or-treating or Halloween, and it was at OU. And she didn't even want to go. She said, I don't know, should I go? She couldn't even walk yet, barely. So I told her, I said, baby, please go. It's Halloween. You've been laying for 3 months crying, only listening to his music. Please go have just a moment of fun. A moment of fun. So we told her to go. My husband drove her. I brought her back home. She just needed a second of fun from losing her whole world. Her whole world. So that was us. We told her to go. And that concert she went to with Dom's cousin, Abby, they picked her up. They brought her there. That was Dom, Mackenzie and Dom and Abby all decided to go to this concert together while they were in the hospital. That was for Dom. Everything she did after the accident was either in honor of him, to be close to him, or just to be by him any way that she can. She's like devastated and tragic. He was the air that she breathes. Okay. And they went with his cousin. We spent all kinds of time with him after the accident.
Judge Russo was quick to call her out.
Now, yeah, all your comments, right on. You notice how she just said, he was the air that she breathed. Oh, Natalie, he was more than that. He was the putty that filled the vast void in the center of her heart and soul that I'm not saying it is, but someday you might want to consider, just reflect on the fact that as her mother, you may have, took the shovel to the earth to help dig that hole at some point in her 17-year-old life. I'm just saying, maybe not, but maybe something you just want to reflect on. I'm just saying. Yeah, he was so much more than the air she breathed. And there's just so much to say here. But one thing I want you to notice is how, and I think she's going to do it again in the very beginning. She's like, and Dominic was the love of her life. And as Alyssa pointed out, the love of her 17-year-old daughter's life. That's a weird thing to say anyway, but in my opinion, Dominic was the love of her life and Damien was her new friend. All right. Just notice. That's all.
Questioning her choice of words.
I'm hearing an awful lot about your daughter. I'm not hearing very much about the two dead people.
Dominic, okay, I'm asking you for a leniency because this was a tragic accident that she does not remember. And Davian, he's a new friend. I'm so sorry.
What does that mean? His life is worthless?
No. God, no, not at all. They all loved each other. They all spent every day together. You know what I mean? I don't know too much.
But here's the thing, and we're going to hear Mackenzie echoing the same thing. When the judge said, does that mean his life is worthless? No, God, no. And we got that. I almost feel like there could have been a little duper's delight there. I'm not sure, but no. Yes, that is exactly what you're saying, because the way the Shirillas present things and the way that all of them talk about the victims when they do, it defines that person, Dominic or Davian, the victims, the boys that had beautiful lives ahead of them, and the value of them as a person and their lives by who they were relative to the Shirillas, but more accurately, Mackenzie. And this is like in the pocket, like you got this down. This is like the ultimate of enabling behavior of a person who should be guiding their child through life, learning lessons, developing respect, and all the things that we want our children to have. They themselves define the value of, not just things, but like human beings relative to their worth, according to Mackenzie. And then whatever that is, they adopted as well. I mean, they really she may have had a personality where she was difficult and she put herself at the center of the universe and everyone else, or her own and everyone else's, but they are making sure that she maintains that placement in life. Do you guys see that? Do you see what I'm saying there? It's hard to watch, man. I just want to be like, hold up, everyone, stop right now. Everyone, stop what you're doing. But it's not a movie. You can't do that. You can't be like, cut, take two. This is their real life. And, again, what I was saying in the very beginning is it's so important to observe these things and talk about them, because these are the indicators of a person spiraling towards a state of crisis that they may not be able to, recuperate from. Because when you're, in that state of crisis, or you're heading there at a pace and momentum that is totally out of control, or you're doing it with a system of people, like a family or whatever it may be, or, a couple in a relationship, it's very dangerous statistically. That is by far the most likely time and place in your life when something tragic and unintended and irreversible can happen. And you think, oh, that's not going to happen to me. That just happens to other people. It happens to people in the true crime cases that I, am interested in. No, it could happen to any of us. It could happen to me. It could happen to you. We can't let it happen to us. And we shouldn't allow it to happen to one another without trying to support each other. And that's really what it's all about.
Part of the problem, Mrs. Shirilla.
Sorry?
Isn't that part of the problem, that they all trusted each other? Isn't that part of...
It's not a problem at all. It was wonderful.
Problem how they all ended up in the car together and two of them ended up dead.
I understand. I understand what it looks like. I'm saying that it was a tragic accident. She would never...
Well, we're going to have to disagree on...
I understand.
Right. And I respect your position, but you disagree the same.
I understand. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to address those. We told her to go to those things, and then she did go with Dom's family. So look at that. Don't look at it with the... Look at that. Look on that with different eyes if you can, please.
Those things are not relevant.
Not at all. Not at all. No, not at all. But she's a good, if you would have a moment, all you would need is 5 minutes of a conversation to have with her to learn who she is. Just that, you would just need 5 minutes to learn who she is and what she's capable of not doing and doing. And you would see for yourself. That's all. I'm so sorry, guys.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Then 19-year-old Mackenzie herself.
So then I just want to point out that, Mom just said, hey, if you just had 5 minutes alone with Mackenzie to know who she is and what she is capable or not capable of doing, or the weird way she said it, then you would know. You would know what a good person she is. Well, oh my God, Natalie, you're in luck. Because this coming up on stage is Miss Mackenzie Shirilla, and this is her opportunity to give the judge those 5 minutes to see who she really is, to understand who she is, to learn about the things she is not capable of doing or that she is capable of doing. This is it. This is right here. So let's do it. Come on up, girl. Convince that judge. What does our girl Mackenzie do? Poo-boo. And do notice that her horrible statement is in the words of her mother. And that's because her mother wrote it.
And
that's a fact.
Read from a prepared statement.
Is there anyone else?
I would like Mackenzie to address the court.
Mackenzie, you don't have to speak if you don't want to. It's up to you. Okay? So you can sit if it's more comfortable, whatever's better for you.
The families of Dom and Damien, I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken. I love Dom and Davian. We were all friends and Dom was my soulmate. I wish I could take all your pain away. And I'm so sorry. And to my family, thank you for the support and all the love you guys give. Thank you for inviting me. I love you all so much. Alright, I'm done. Thank you.
Divine Flanagan, watching from across the courtroom, said afterwards that it was the worst apology she had ever heard. Finally, before Judge Russo delivered the sentence, Mackenzie's defense attorney, James McDonnell, made one final plea to the court. He pushed back against the prosecution's characterization of his client as remorseless, arguing that the crash had not been intentional. He spoke about the teenage brain, about how young people make decisions differently, about how he himself had done things in his youth he was not proud of, and he told the judge that from the moment he had first met Mackenzie, she had expressed sorrow and remorse. He asked Judge Russo for the minimum, 15 years, and pleaded with her to run the sentences concurrently rather than consecutively.
First of all, I'd like to extend my condolences to the Russo and Flanagan family. I can't imagine how difficult this is. It's terrible. People's acts have consequences, and the consequences here are up to you. You have a range of possibilities as it relates to a girl who was 17 at the time, who is now 19 years old and has no criminal record. And as you so correctly pointed out in the opening, the decision when she gets out is up to the parole board. And we know how the parole board operates, and we know that everybody gets flopped at least once. So a 15-year sentence becomes a 20-year sentence at minimum. And it'll be up to this young lady here as to how she's going to conduct herself for the next 20 years or whatever the sentence would be. That would be number one. Second of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for allowing and taking the time to read those letters. And I would like to concentrate on the letters from the people from juvenile court. First of all, Miss Smith and Miss Kent. They have been the people who have monitored her progress since she was entered the juvenile detention facility, where she was for about 9 months.
I'm sorry. It's getting late. I have another timestamp note here. It says 2 hours and 27 minutes, flipped hair, and I don't know what the hell I'm referring to. So I need to just check. Flipped hair? Huh? What am I talking about? I don't see any flipping hair. Is that what I really wrote? I'm not sure. What? Well, I don't know. Let's see why I put a timestamp at this time. Play, would you play?
For the Shirilla family, the fight did not end in that courtroom. It was, in their view, only just beginning. Over the course of the next 3 years, her legal team would mount 3 separate attempts to overturn.
Oh yeah, people are talking about appeals. Her appeals are exhausted. They F that up too.
Or revisit the conviction. All 3 would fail. On September 25th, 2023, Mackenzie's new legal team filed her first appeal with the Ohio 8th District Court of Appeals. They argued that the juvenile court should not have transferred her case to adult court. Dom, he just grabbed my steering wheel on the highway trying to spin out my car and...
Okay, that's the same thing. Oh, okay, yeah. Those are, I don't know what
text
anyway,
messages.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sure I was referring to when I said flipped hair. I'm going to be wrapping up soon because I'm getting really tired, but I actually have a conclusion to the discussion I wanted to be able to come to, but I guess it would be premature because I'm not going to be streaming tonight for 5 hours. So there are some more issues we have to discuss. There's just a lot to discuss with this case. Do you guys want to keep discussing this case here with me? Because I will schedule another live stream for, I could do it tomorrow. I could do it Tuesday, whenever you guys want. I'm getting close to the end of I work on a, like a school year calendar. And I usually work through the summer, but guess what? Guess what? I'm taking the summer off, which is really scary, but I have to because I'm freaking really burnt out and I have not been enjoying life. And it's just gotten to a point where it's like no longer acceptable. So pray for me, guys. But anyway, I'll have a lot of time this summer. I'm going to do more live streams. I'm kind of losing track of my thoughts here because I'm really tired. But let me know if you do want more live streams on this topic. Oh, I know. I have a pretty light week this week because we're getting towards the end of the school year. And you know what, Cuff You, I know I said come up on panel and I was going to open up panel, but I'm just a little bit too loopy. But you know what, Cuff You, do you want to come up? Because I actually would like to hear what you have to say. And I think other people might like to as well. Would you like to come up, Cuff You? I should probably let someone else talk at this point. Yeah, I know, Julie. I'm scared. I'm really scared because I really should work because, life, bills, stuff like that. But I'm just not as happy as I should be. I have to figure it out. Oh, thanks, Calissa. Here's a link to the panel if you would like to come up, Cuff You. Oh, thank you, Sabrosa. I keep getting this message. I just put the link to panel, and I keep so many times I've tried to participate in our chat by typing today, and freaking StreamYard says, "An error occurred on YouTube. This is usually temporary. Wait a moment and try again." Oh, I keep getting like different error messages, but all right. StreamYard on YouTube, kudos to you. You're both first-class services. Thank you for taking advantage of people and sucking at times. I'm sure that's going to do good for the longevity of my channel on YouTube, but I don't really care. Kelly, will you be covering the Carmelo Anthony case in Texas next week? Probably not, because I don't even know what that case is, but I don't know. I think I probably heard the name, but I don't know any details about it. Maybe I should, but at this point, if it's happening next week, I'm going to intentionally refrain from learning details about it because it might suck me in like the deformed alien herself, Mackenzie Shirilla. And I just, no. Can't do it. Cuffy, are you still here? That's totally true, Annabise. You're right. Oh, Kelly, go get ready. Yeah, I know. I really should. Whenever people say that, I'm like, okay, oh, Sherry's here. Okay, Sherry's gonna come here. Where is Sherry? Sherry, listen, girl. I'm tired. So if this doesn't work the first time, we're just gonna figure it out for the next time. But we're gonna try.
All right, who's up?
Oh, I can hear you. Oh, good. That's great. Perfect. Yay. How you doing?
Me fine. I just wanna ask a question. I just want to know if you're gonna go through her childhood.
Mackenzie Shirilla's childhood?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, don't you think we already have enough of Mackenzie Shirilla? I'm just
Well,
kidding. I hadn't even thought about it actually, but I mean, her
Well-
childhood is certainly relevant, but I'm
well,
not sure.
no,
I
not
don't-
now. Well, no, not now. And no.
well, definitely not now. I'm not prepared, but I mean, if people really wanted that, but here's my feeling on it. I kind of, and I'm not, I could be wrong, but I sort of feel like I got this bitch's number. Like, I think like I can kind of imagine that some, kind of basic themes were present during her childhood that allowed her to be the person that she is today. And I don't think there's going to be much there that would surprise me. And I think a lot of it is pretty, like, not pretty, but I don't know if I'm not sure. If you guys really wanted it, I would, but this time I don't think I'm planning on it.
Oh, okay. I just thought maybe that would, I don't know if people want to know, but
Maybe. Yeah. I just, you know what? Maybe I just haven't thought about it yet. So yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would like. I mean, I think it is interesting, but I also feel like I
just
don't know.
I just thought
Like
I saw that in
this
there.
woman makes every person involved in the Watts case look like a very gentle character, like almost even Nicole Kessinger, I dare say. I don't know how much Mackenzie Shirilla we can take.
Well, the Watts case, I think, I don't know. I'm pretty. I think you did enough of the Watts case. I mean,
you think?
in my opinion, I think we know what we know. He's just in jail, sitting there. Unless you can get in there, I'll go up there with you. But
yeah, Sherry lives close.
I mean, he lives in my state, so you're gonna have to fly. Gonna have to fly over there, and we'll go up there and interview him. That's the. I mean.
Yeah. Because I mean, if I could talk with Chris Watts, I would. I mean, I would, like, whatever was going on. I mean, if it was like something, I love my son. I'd do anything for him. But like anything else, if I were like, oh, you have to be here tomorrow, which means I don't want to like jinx myself and say, oh, something, and then like have something bad happen. But yeah, I would do just about anything to do that. I'm just so curious is what I could learn, because I think I could extract some, even if he didn't, I'm not saying he's going to drop a bomb, like, oh, I've just been waiting for you to tell, this bombshell information to, but I think just putting the whole picture together, I don't know. I think I would love to do it. That's all.
I mean, all I can say is that I'm sick of talking about the Watts case. I really am. I mean, I think you did a wonderful job, and it's been 7 years, and gonna be coming up on 7 years, and there's not much more you can do or say. I don't know, unless you know more. But
well, I get sick of the Watts case a lot too, and I just want to say really quick, hi, Guilty of Crime. Are you a crime con? How is it? Honey Bun and I were going to try to get there, but we didn't. But I think you're there. I want to know how it is, and I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for coming by. I love you, Jay. We think Guilty of Crime Jay is at Crime Con. Send me pics, Jay. Send me pics. Yeah, I get sick of the Watts case too. And, a lot of people who comment on my videos totally agree with you. And they say it in much different terms than you just did. But I always think there's more to look at in the Watts case. And I don't agree with that. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's just my opinion of it. I mean, if I didn't feel that way, I would never have done as much content on it as I did. Because why, right? But because I truly believe through and through that those victims never received complete justice. I have concerns about why and how that happened and what that means. Just for the spirit of justice for the victims, but also for, the service that law enforcement and our judicial system does for our society. And that requires us, if we're going to do it right, to tie up the loose ends that they didn't in this case. And that will always bother me until they go back and fix what they didn't do right the first time and tie up those loose ends. So in my opinion, that's always something to talk about. And also,
I know, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I know that they didn't do anything because of NK. NK was the big picture for me. They didn't prosecute her.
Right. Yeah.
And number one, I don't care if Chris took a plea deal. They still should have had a trial, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Totally, absolutely. And I will dog on District Attorney Rourke for that until the day I die, probably, and I'll be happy doing that. And then I also think, I think there's a lot to talk about. And I think the relationship dynamics in that case, just like we're talking about in this case, like the indicators of crisis and, just things that we need to understand about the human condition in ourselves and in other people, because we're here on this earth all together, the billions of however many billions of us there are. I mean, it's something we cannot avoid. I mean, unless you want to go live on a mountain and be a hermit, but probably at some point, that's going to have to change. So, but I think there's an innate human desire to have that understanding of ourselves and one another. And I truly believe that true crime cases are this really great area for us to do this study and exploration that we do naturally anyway. And I think the Watts case is replete with it. And it's just really, I think it's great material for that. And it's what I do, that's like what I do. So yeah. And
Right.
I think there's always more to talk about. And then the MLM stuff. Oh yeah. I'm going to be talking about Watts case for a long time, but sometimes I need a break from it. And sometimes I need a break for a long time. And I mean,
Right.
I went on 2 occasions. I didn't make it quite to a year, but one time I did 9 whole months without doing anything on the Watts case. And that was kind of refreshing. And I'll probably definitely want to do that again sometime, but yeah, but.
All right. Is anyone else going to come up? I'll pop down.
Oh, well, thank you for coming up. I always love hearing your voice, honey. And I appreciate you. And I totally appreciate your opinion too. But I hadn't even thought about exploring Mackenzie Shirilla's childhood, but I just feel I have such a strong reaction to her.
If she can, before I leave, it's 15 years back to back. Is in my understanding?
No, it's not. No, that would be consecutive. She sentenced her not consecutively, but I can't think of it. It's late, guys. She sentenced them together, so it's just one term of 15 to life instead of back to back.
Oh, so it's only 15 years that bitch got? Sorry for swearing.
Well, it's 15 years to life, possibly parole in 15 years, but the sentence could extend throughout her whole life, depending on what happens with her while she is incarcerated, and then decisions made by the parole board. Congruent. Thank you. Congruent. Yeah.
Oh my God in heaven.
I was surprised by that. That was surprising to me.
So am I.
Yeah.
And you know what she's doing? She's getting makeup and curling. Her family's getting her curling irons, and I guess she wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning and does her hair and her makeup, and oh my God.
I heard 5 o'clock from her ex-girlfriend there. Yeah, I've listened. Oh my, everything, all the just volumes of content out there on this case now. Like I've really been like, I've been consuming it at a very like voracious pace. So yeah.
And doesn't take a shower. Give me a break. I mean, you're in jail. You're not at home.
Yeah, well, that was at first, but I think she just wanted a reason to talk about how cute and little her body was and how pretty she thinks she is.
Well, okay. Oh my God.
Concurrent anaphylaxis. That's the word. Sorry.
Oh my God. These girls nowadays. Holy shit.
Yeah, these girls nowadays, but I'm not going to put any of these girls in the same category as Shirilla here, because she really is unique. She's definitely that.
Well, she was, I hate to say it, she was a spoiled brat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it. No one else is. I'm going to say it.
Oh, yeah, she absolutely was. Yeah.
I don't know. My dad died when I was 3 years old. My mom had to raise us 4 kids. Aww. And I tell ya, she didn't spoil us kids.
Oh,
hell no. Nope. And we learned respect. But then that was back in the 70s. So I know times have changed, but.
Oh, if I ever behaved in any of the ways this girl did, my dad would kick my ass. Because
yeah.
My dad was when I turned 14, I always tell a story. My dad made me get to, obviously I was in school. I was in like 9th grade or something. And then he made me get 2 jobs. He's like, you're very lucky. My dad was an attorney, so so we lived in a nice home. If I needed something, he could get it, but he grew up in like poverty and had 5 siblings, and long story, we had very different experiences as children. So I think he was always, very aware of, my dad like became a really good person. And I think he attributed a lot of that to the hardships that he had to endure and the strengths that he gained from that. And I think he was worried if I didn't have that experience, I'd become like a Mackenzie Shirilla, probably not that bad, but spoiled brat. So he's like, you need to learn respect and the value of, everything. So yeah, you're going to get 2 jobs. I thought he was kidding. He's like, no, really, you are. He's like, I'm sorry. I've raised you this far and I'm not going to allow you to turn into a terrible person. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm 57, 6, 7. Oh God, I keep forgetting.
I think your husband the other day said 7. Yeah, you're
yeah.
27.
Yeah. Well, it says Sherry 57 on there, so I can remember. And I have 2 adult autistic children, and like I tell everyone, I don't
raise them well.
And they can work. Well, it's almost they can work, but they have to work with a person beside them. But as when COVID hit, that they couldn't do it no more. My daughter couldn't walk across the stage because of COVID. She had to finish out her senior year on the computer at home. That was tough for her.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, that was back in what 2021, 20. I can't remember, but we got to it. But I was strict. I mean, not strict, but I told you before. I didn't coddle them. You did wrong. You did wrong. You have to pay the consequences. So
yeah, her parents are like the extreme opposite. So
yeah,
it's just not good.
All right, enough for me. I'm going to get off so we can go to bed.
Well, thank you for coming up. I hope you have a good night, sweetheart. Tell the girls I said hi.
Yes, I will, Kelly. All right. Love you, honey.
Love you too. Take care,
all right,
sweetie.
Bye, honey.
Okay, my friends. Oh, wait. So this just Calissa Cat says, Kelly, have you been watching what's been happening at CrimeCon this year with them going after Christina twice and putting her and other YouTube creators on a list? I've scrolled past a few videos whose titles indicated that, and I was like, I don't know if I can take this right now. I don't know if I want to know about this right now. I definitely want to know about it, just not right now. I was too entrenched in I've really taken the Mackenzie Shirilla case and everything about it. It's really affected me. Like, I'm not kidding when I tell you, when I watched the police notification of Dominic's death to the mother the first time, I was like inconsolable. I couldn't get my shit back together. It's like just really affected me. So I think in comparison, CrimeCon has kind of been like, okay, I'm going to check that out later when I'm feeling a little less like consumed by a real crime. I guess is what I'm saying. Oh my God. Christina Randall? Who's awful? Christina Randall? No, not Chris. I love Christina Randall. No, she's talking about Christina, like the Lauren Matthias Stalker scandal shit show. Anaphylaxis is really, yeah, I can always do more content on that, certainly. I just didn't want to get too wrapped up in it. I didn't want to get too wrapped up in it because I don't know why. I don't know why. I have a lot. Oh, I have a lot of ideas and things written down, and a couple things started actually. I just need to step back for a little bit. I didn't want to actually be or be perceived as being too catty with it, because I don't want that. I don't want to be catty. I don't want air of cattiness around me if I can avoid it, but I'll go back. I will revisit it. I was actually looking at a couple of the ideas I had the other day and was watching their content that it would be based on. I was like, oh, damn, this is so good. They just practically made this for me. That's amazing. And I'm talking about John and Lauren. Oh, no. Don't be sorry to bring it up. No. You're good. I'm glad you did. I've been actually wondering. I've been curious about it. I've just been trying to get to the end of the school year here so I can hopefully enjoy a little bit of life again when I have some time off. And I've just been, can only can only like, take in so many things at once. But I'm glad you mentioned it, and I do want to know about it. I saw that Hella's did a video on it, or two, or I'm maybe more probably. Yeah, I love Christina Randall. I just find her to be very real and authentic. I spoke with her a couple times, and she was awesome and super helpful. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe people know secrets about her, like, that are evil, but I don't care. I think she's good, and she makes amazing content. Okay. Anyhow, I was getting loopy 20 minutes ago, 30, 40 minutes ago. And so now I'm really like well cooked, and maybe you are too. So do you want to do another live stream in the next few days about this case? Yes or no? Give me a yes, or tell me no, or put it in the comment of this live stream once it's no longer a live stream and it becomes a video. Oh my God. This is a big question. Green-Eyed Bandit. Green-Eyed Bandit apparently didn't hear my warning about my brain deadness right now. I'm just kidding. This is a good question though, and it needs to be discussed, but I'm not going to say much about it now. But I am raising a teenager of my own, and and I work with all of them. Kelly, as your professional career, do you have any advice at all to give for people who are raising teenagers in the social media environment? I think I have some basic guidelines. I think that'd be valuable to share maybe, but like, here's the thing about that's scary. I don't know if anyone knows. Like, I don't know if I'm concerned about it myself, for my own child, for my students that I'm supposed to be, helping to guide out of, troublesome behaviors into ways of living that are going to allow them to live a fulfilling and maybe even productive life that contributes to others in the world and themselves. I worry about it a lot. So I seek out answers myself and advice myself. And, I always love pie charts and data backed everything. And I look for, a definitive answer on what is the roadmap that is going to be the best route for teenagers to take to keep themselves emotionally and psychologically and physically well, in this age of like electronic everything that impacts all aspects. Oh my God, the effects it's having on brains of young people is just insane, and ours too. But anyway, I do not know what the answer is. It's a really scary topic, but maybe it's something we need to talk about more. So I'm glad you brought it up. She gets so much wrong. Oh, well, yeah. I think the same of Annie Elise, though, but a lot of people are. And I don't dislike Annie Elise, but then again, she covers so many cases, whereas I, like people are like, oh, what do you do? All you do is talk about the Watts case. So, I get it. It's like when you do talk about like every case that, kind of hits a spotlight, I could see how that happens. I don't do it. So I don't, but I do notice when I really, and you're kind of like that too, Justice. Like you get really, really deep into certain cases, yes, we might know like the stupid details that are kind of almost absurd to even know. Like, oh, they're wrong again. That's how I see myself. I'm not saying you're like that, but yeah, I hear ya. Hey, Lou Watson, how are you doing? Thanks for the email. Awesome. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that. I've heard Nancy Grace is sweet in person. I used to like Nancy Grace, but I just like her more and more as time goes on. But that's just my opinion. Thank you so much. Awesome. You're saying yes, please. Awesome. Great. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to peace out because, all the things I've already said. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Please do always leave suggestions of different cases you do want to talk about here, or, aspects of certain things we already do talk about, like, hey, but maybe we could talk about, I don't know, this dynamic of this case. I love it when you guys throw those my way. So please definitely do that. I always appreciate it. I read all your comments. I do read everything you send my way. I do. I swear I read every word. I can't always reply because it's just too much. It's too much for one person who also has to clean 25 bunny cages every day, every week, and has a kid, you know, all the things we do in life. But I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys so very much. So make sure you do something awesome for yourself tonight, tomorrow, this week. What is it? Saturday night? I don't even know. Because you deserve it. Yeah, and I'm doing something nice for myself. I'm taking the summer off, even though like I really shouldn't. It's really not responsible, but I'm gonna do it because like I don't know. I just can't stand the drudgery day after day anymore. So yeah. Maybe you can take the summer off with me. How about that? No. But I don't want you to lose your job. Don't do that. Don't do that. But maybe like, pour yourself a nice glass of wine or a cup of tea or take a walk or I don't know, drop one of those like little bath bomb things in your bath and go soak. Just do something nice for yourself that makes you feel good because you deserve it. And I will be scheduling another live stream either tomorrow night or Tuesday night. So be looking for that. And I definitely hope to see you there. Love you guys. Have a good night.